Nocked and ready to rock.
For this Nocked and Ready to Rock series, I want to go through the entire process that I do myself for choosing, building, and tuning my arrows for the bow that I've set up. So in this first segment, I want to talk about the types of arrow shafts that are available so that you can understand the different benefits and characteristics to each of these styles. The first is going to be an aluminum shaft, and this is really the shaft that was responsible for really propelling archery because it had so many different options and sizes, and it was much different than some of the older wood shafts that were available before this. This aluminum arrow is the arrow that holds the highest indoor scores ever shot in target archery. So you can tell just by that alone that it's proven for consistency, and a lot of that's because of the straightness of aluminum and also the consistency for how your components fit in that shaft. Now, years ago, there was a big swing towards carbon shafts because carbon gives you a lot of options for straightness, also for diameter, and it seems to have a lot less glare, and you just have way more options for the types of cosmetics you can put on it as well. You know, this is an all carbon shaft here, and you can tell that they've already put high definition graphics on the shaft just to help improve the looks. Now, one of the shafts that I've always preferred is an Acc type shaft, and that's an aluminum carbon shaft, which gives you the benefits to both of those previous shafts. This Easton Acc has an aluminum core tube and then a carbon exterior. So this gives you the best of both worlds, and it has no glare, and it also has great straightness and consistency values, which is going to be critical. We'll talk about that in a later segment. There's also a newer style to that, which is exactly the flip side, which gives you a carbon interior with an aluminum exterior, and that's a full metal jacket. And now they offer this in a 6mm size, which is actually a slightly different diameter than the original full metal jacket. This is a shaft that's been super popular in the last several years. Now, one of the most recent shafts that have hit the market is the micro diameter carbon shafts. This is an Easton injection, and you can tell that the actual overall size of this arrow is super small, and if you compare it to an aluminum arrow that we had to shoot years ago, you can tell there's a huge difference. So the benefits to having a smaller diameter arrow is the fact that you're going to have less wind drift, and you're going to have better ballistics, and also higher penetration because there's less friction as it's passing through. So all these shafts have slightly different options available for them, and some of these shafts may or may not be favorable for the type of hunting situation that you're going to have. So in the next segment, I'm going to go more into detail about sizing and spine and let you know how that relates to picking the right arrow.